So let's talk a little bit about fleas. Now, people will say, I have a cat. My cat is 100% indoors. My cat doesn't go outside. So I don't need flea prevention for my cat because my cat never goes out. So my question to the client, or my statement to the client, is usually this: do you go outside? Because if you go outside, if you open your windows, if you open your doors to go in and out, it is possible for your cat to get bitten by a flea. You may not see that flea because they are, for those small little critters, they jump, they can move around quite a bit, and they can also remain dormant for a while, and their larvae are larvae you can't see. So the idea that you do not keep your cat on flea prevention, even though because they're indoors, is actually wrong. So I just wanted to clear that up because, when I see cats that are pulling their hair out from their abdomen, a lot of times that's where the fleas like to hang out. Sometimes they're hanging out by the tail or behind the ears. So yeah, you need to keep your pets on flea and tick prevention, for cats specifically, flea prevention, for doggies both. And especially if you have a dog and a cat, then definitely you want to keep both of them on flea and tick prevention. Fleas can affect your cat, and if your cat's super sensitive, like most of our cats are, just one little bite, that flea saliva gets injected under the skin, and that's a substance that the animal can become very allergic to, very itchy. And once that itch scratch cycle begins, it's almost never ending without treatment. So save yourself the grief and just prevent and treat your cats and dogs for fleas and ticks, both of them. For the cat, it's mainly the fleas. So let's talk about mosquitoes. So I have had clients say, I mean, I've not heard it personally, but I have had technicians who've heard clients say that they don't need to keep their animal on heartworm prevention because heartworm is transmitted by mosquitoes. They don't need to keep their animal on heartworm prevention because they live in a high rise. So mosquitoes can't get up there. But I've got news for you: mosquitoes can go into high rise buildings. They can travel via the elevator, they can hijack a ride on the elevator. They can be present in the hallways once the doors open and close. Hallways and stairways they love it because they're usually dark and not properly lit, and they can get to breathe in there. Or they just get in there and then they're, traveling up until they find their way out. So elevators, stairways, hallways, if you ever open your windows at all, they can get in that way. If they're not capable of getting up to the higher building, the higher floors by themselves, well, what they will do, a draft of wind can actually get them up there. So the idea that you don't need to put your doggy on heartworm prevention because you live in a high rise and you're thinking that the mosquitoes, and that's another thing, where does the dog walk? In the house? Or does it walk outside, like you take them down to ground level and go to a green area to have them do their business? Yeah, they can pick up mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, whatever from there. So they can be mainly indoors. But once your doggy goes outside, any at all, or even so, if you go outside, you can transfer flea larvae and eggs, or the fleas themselves, God forbid, to you, and then transfer it to your pet. So fleas can go on high rise. Mosquitoes can get to your pet in a high rise building. I mean, this is part of funniest things vet clients say, but a technician told me today that a client told him that he the client doesn't need to put their pet on heartworm prevention because they live in a gated community. So I'm not sure if that gated community is enclosed in plastic, but even if it's enclosed in metal, at some point in time, you need to leave that gated community. And I'm not even going to get into the semantics of what kind of gate it is, and if the gate has a top, a side, listen, no judgment. All I'm saying is they will find a way to get to your pet. They will transmit disease to your pet, or they'll make your pet allergic. So the easiest, cheapest thing for you to do to keep your pet pest free, flea and tick free, and heartworm disease free, of course, put them on heartworm prevention, but of course, eliminate or decrease their exposure to mosquitoes and fleas and or ticks, because it is, in this case, prevention is 100% better than cure. Trust me, heartworm disease is another conversation. You do not want your dog to get heartworm disease. The treatment for heartworm disease is costly. It's costly financially. I mean, listen, I don't even want to get into it because it's 100% preventable disease. So any pet that has heartworm disease is mainly out of not getting heartworm prevention, because it can only come from not getting heartworm prevention because it's 100% preventable. But I digress. So flea and tick prevention for all, whether you're in a high rise or you're on the floor, ground floor, or your cat never goes outside, or your cat only goes on the balcony, all of those things, your pet needs to be on prevention. Okay, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Remember, I am a veterinarian, but I'm not your veterinarian. So if you need veterinary advice, you can call your veterinarian and ask those questions, and you can verify or deny whatever it is I'm saying. Peace out, y'all. Peace.